Good. Different setup for you.
Little bit of a different setup. First and foremost, yeah, well, I'm cooking this time. So we're both cooking this time. We're going to give you a bit of a variation on our recipe tonight. So welcome to Come Dine with us.
Yes, welcome to Come Dine with us. Pandemic version again.
Number who knows what. So my kitchen is not set up like yours. I don't have an island. My kitchen is an L-shaped kitchen, so I'm going to be moving the camera a little bit. And so just bear with my, wonderful recording skills, but we'll make it work. No biggie. That's the first order of business. Second order of business, my voice sounds different. I'm completely fine. I'm not sick. I just got a bit of laryngitis, so it's a bit squeaky, but it's all good.
You had like that whole like sexy thing going on. I was like, oh, damn, girl.
My husband says too.
You know what? I've actually had a few people, you were talking about the setup of your kitchen. I've had a few people reach out and say, we're trying to figure out how your kitchen is because it just, like, everything's right there. There's not a whole lot of space. My island is movable. It's on wheels. Yep. So for people who've been asking, like, how is that happening? It's typically at the other end of my kitchen. Best thing ever. When I was redoing the kitchen, the guy who was doing it said, what about an island on wheels? I was like, kind of sounds like I might like that. And this thing on wheels, every home I will ever have from here to the end of time will have an island on wheels. My sister and her husband in the States did the same thing after doing this one. So yeah, it's so convenient. So that's why, for those friends of mine who've been asking how this whole thing has been working out.
Yep, it's an L-shaped kitchen, and that's my dining room table. So there's actually no room for an island. So we just work with the L. So like I said, I'll be moving the camera so that you can see what I'm doing. And just please excuse the fabulous camera work.
And this is actually really what, when we started Come Dine with us, probably over a year ago now, really was the concept that you and I would be here. We didn't foresee the pandemic. We would be here, and then we would have people watching us kind of doing what you're doing, which is what we're going to end up doing tonight. When I'm chopping, you're chopping, and that kind of thing. And then we're going to have a virtual Come Dine with us.
Yeah, a little bit. I thought it would be fun for me to do it as well because I was missing out on all the yummy food.
Did you measure everything?
I did measure everything. You know me. I'm a measurer. Did you measure everything?
Yeah. Hello.
Lies. You spread lies.
Do you have any surprises in your recipe? You do. I know.
I do not.
You do.
I do not.
Are you making it with jackfruit?
Oh, no. Okay. So that would be the only variation. It's not a surprise. So yeah. Okay. So what we're making today is vegan jackfruit tacos with a tahini sauce. Yeah. And one of the variations of this recipe is, instead of using jackfruit, which it's a wonderful meat substitute, I'm going to use it with chicken. And it doesn't have to be jackfruit or chicken. It can be turkey. It could be chickpeas. It could be lentils. It could be any variation of plant-based protein or meat protein that you want it to be.
Yeah. And for anybody who doesn't know what jackfruit is or what it looks like or what it smells like, it's seeming like a little bit, the first time I'm using it as well, which is another kind of idea that we do when we do Come Dine with us, right? Something we don't typically have or have never had before. So I was surprised this morning to see it. I was getting things ready. Kind of artichoke-y feel, but it smells like lychee. It's sweet smelling.
Okay.
But yeah, so it doesn't feel as woodsy as an artichoke does.
Okay.
So very interesting.
So jackfruit is a tropical fruit, and it kind of has a fruity, sweet flavor.
Yeah.
It's got really
like you can see
nice.
You can make shredded pork out of it, like you can peel it. So
yes.
I'm actually starting to
the texture is similar to a shredded meat, and that's why it's really great for this taco recipe. It's going to emulate that shredded meat. I'm using shredded chicken. It's going to emulate that. So it's a really great, it's a great option. So did you want to get started, or do we want to talk about jackfruit some more?
No, I'm going to start putting the jackfruit in. So is your chicken cooked?
Yes, I cooked it and shredded it so that it's ready to go.
So I'm going to start throwing the jackfruit in.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
With
So
the water, the tamari, the cumin, and kind of get that going.
Okay, so then I've got to put my ingredients in as well. So did you start putting stuff in? It's hard for me to see you. You're real tiny. I'm on my phone, right? So you're real tiny. We're back into the whole, I have to get.
I love you yet?
All right, so we'll start. Okay, so we'll start with the sauce. What the sauce we're starting with? Oh, I didn't get water. Just let me get water. I'll be right back.
I'm putting the water in now, and look at the mug I'm using. I'm using your mug.
Excellent. All right, so water's in. So it's about half a cup of water. It
Yep.
the recipe does specify that if you're not using, if you're using something other than jackfruit, that you should modify a bit of the water. So I put just a little bit less of the water, than half of the cup. And so that's in, and I'm gonna move my view so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So extreme close up, sorry guys. There we go. All right, so I put my water in.
Yeah, I put the jackfruit in. The
Perfect.
tamari, the water.
So, okay, I'm not at the tamari yet, and all that stuff. Okay, so this is tahini. I've got my tahini in there. Let's see, it calls for, I guess I went ahead. It calls for about a quarter of a cup of tahini. Let's see, tamari. Got my tamari here.
Yep.
Putting that in our sauce. Done. What I'm going to do actually, which I'm just thinking of now, is I want my tortillas to be warm. So I'm going to turn on my warmer on my stove, and I'm going to put my tortillas right on there.
Yeah.
And they'll warm while we're doing this. Okay, so tamari's in.
Yep. Which is a great fermented, right? So that's always good for you.
Yeah.
Cumin and paprika.
Cumin and paprika. How about I talk about it's really hard actually and distracting to kind of do both. So since we're going to do, why don't we make it and then we can talk about the stuff, the ingredients afterwards. Sound good?
Perfect.
Okay, so yeah.
You've done the tahini, so I'm going to go ahead and add mine in.
Okay. I've got my cumin and smoked paprika. My tahini's already in. This is a little bit of maple syrup.
So you have well, we often tell people, you might be able to change it up a little bit. I didn't actually have maple syrup at home, but I had a guava syrup. So I'm using that.
Oh, for sure. That would be delicious.
Right?
So my tamari in, my water's in, my cumin, my smoked paprika, my tahini, the maple sauce, the maple syrup, and I have a little bit of apple cider vinegar to add into that as well.
Perfect. I just put mine in.
And we're going to just keep stirring that. So because my chicken is cooked, you have to cook your jackfruit. But since my chicken is cooked, I'm going to make sure that the sauce is ready to go. And then I'll just add my chicken in after, so it has a little bit of time to absorb the flavor.
And I can see as the jackfruit's warming up, it's starting to shred.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so some of the ingredients that we're talking about here today. So we talked about the jackfruit. It's a tropical fruit. It emulates the shredded meat consistency.
Yeah.
Full of vitamin A. It's got protein in it. It's about 3 grams of protein per cup and about 3 grams of fiber per cup. And
nice.
It's heavy on the carbs. About 40 grams of carbs, so it is heavier on the carbs. So if you're watching carbs, it's just something that you need to know, right? Great vitamin A, also vitamin C. So we know vitamin A is good for vision and for health. And vitamin C, obviously antioxidants, super good for immune system, maintaining your immune system. It's also good for collagen production, your bones, your nails, and all that fun stuff. Also great source of magnesium, which is also super important for mood and sleep, a lot of good stuff. So the tamari we know is a fermented soybean, which is really good for gut health, right? So It is higher on the sodium side, so you want to make sure that if you're watching you're watching your sodium levels, then it's something to pay attention to for sure. All right, so my sauce to go. I'm going to actually add a little bit more water because I think it does need a little bit of the water to, it's quite thick at the moment. I'll be right back.
So in my usual, I need to spruce this up. I've actually added 2 items.
Okay.
I love mushrooms. I like anything with mushrooms in there. They're so good. I eat them raw, eat them cooked, any way I can. So I'm actually going to fry up some mushrooms and throw that in there with it.
Excellent. I added my chicken in there.
It smells wonderful. And I could definitely see that it's starting to thicken up from my end.
Yes. Yeah, for
and
me as well.
To break up a little bit as well. Yep.
So we threw both paprika as well as cumin, which is really great for digestion. The cumin is really great for enhancing digestion. It helps to secrete, it helps to stimulate tamari, cumin, and oh my gosh, I'm so discombobulated over here trying to do both at the same time. I'm just going to come closer to you. This is my sauce.
Oh, nice.
All right, I'm going to put you back here. I find it easier to do it from here. Okay, cumin. Good for enhancing digestion. Paprika.
And it smells wonderful.
It does smell wonderful. Paprika is red. It's got high levels of vitamin A, high levels of vitamin C, high levels of vitamin E, so antioxidants, right? Great. Now, tahini is a, what are you giggling at?
I love you.
It's so discombobulating. I'm not gonna lie. This is discombobulating, doing the cooking and the talking all at the same time.
And you know what? I get it because I typically do the cooking. So, this is kind of what I do when you do a lot of the talking. If you had to throw me in suddenly and say, okay, start talking because I'm out of it, I'd be like, so the weather's great. Yeah, we're in the middle of a pandemic. What else is new? Because we get so used to our routines, right? And you have got this amazing brain. My brain is not science. I've said it from the day I met you. You have an amazing science brain. I love it. But
why does this moment like I have a very sciencey brain? I gotta tell you, I have to give kudos out now to people who have cooking shows who do both. Oh my gosh, it's just gonna be one of those episodes, folks. I have to tell you something else.
This is what it is.
Something else is distracting me. So we live in a rural community and we have an old mill that's, I don't know, down yonder somewhere, not far. And so the army is here and they're practicing like that. So I'm cooking and I'm trying to talk and I'm hearing the boom boom and I know my dogs are going to freak out at any moment and we're recording. And of course, it's super discombobulating.
And we had a little bit of technical difficulties when we first started.
Right? But this is the joy. We're giving it all to you. You get the good stuff. You get the silly stuff.
You don't get more real than this. I'm bare feet. Like, you just don't get it.
It doesn't get more real than that. Absolutely. Okay, so I think my stuff is ready to go. I'm going to just push it to the end like so. And talk to you about 2
minutes. I think my jackfruit is starting to break up. Some of it has.
Okay.
For sure. I'm trying to see if I can find a piece that, without, burning myself.
Right.
So you can see here, I don't know if you can. Well, it's a little hot. But you can see how it's really pull apart.
Yeah, I can see that actually. Yeah.
And I get to throw that right back in because I'm the only one who is going to eat this.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's fine. No worries. Okay, so back to it. We know that tahini is made from ground sesame seeds. It's ground up into like a mush. You see a lot of it, or you usually see it in hummus.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really a wonderfully rich and nutty, almost like peanut butter kind of ish texture, but it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Make a wonderful tahini dressing too. It's really, really yummy. We also put maple syrup in our dish tonight. Maple syrup, we're talking real maple syrup. We're not talking about syrup like the Aunt Jemima, which is mostly corn syrup. We're talking about real maple syrup that has actual vitamin and minerals, which like manganese and zinc and things like that. That's what you want. You want the real stuff. We also put some ACV apple cider vinegar. Also, so it has a lot of antimicrobial properties and antioxidant properties. It's really good for gut health too. So that's, even though there's just a little bit of it in there, it can make a big difference.
Absolutely right. You don't ever sit down and just eat lots of all these little things. And that's the whole point of trying to eat the best meals you can all day long and make those healthy choices all day long, because it's not about sitting down and eating one meal and trying to get all that in. We've talked many times about trying to get all the colors in, you know, picking 3 to 4 colors every meal. And we've talked about how easy that is, but it's not, you know, a whole pepper, a whole cucumber, a whole tomato. It's a little bit of each. But at the end of the day, it adds up. And if you eat consistently like that, it's better. It's better for your mental health. It's better for your gut health. It's better for your mood, for your sleep.
Yep.
So, side note.
Yes.
A Fitbit, my sister sent it to me. So I put it on the other night for the first time. I thought, I wonder to check the sleep, because we all know I don't sleep.
Right.
So I slept a little bit. I think it was 4 and 5 hours, just under 5 hours. 53 minutes of it was deep sleep.
Nice.
Right? I was like, okay, I'm okay. Well, I don't know, maybe probably a little bit more than that, but I thought it was interesting. It was only 53 minutes.
We're all biochemically individual, right? Your requirements are different than mine. My gosh, I could go to bed at 7:30 every night and be a happy camper.
This smells absolutely wonderful. I can smell the syrup. I got a little bit of the nutty taste or the smell for sure from the tahini. And the sauce of it looks great.
It does. Mine is ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some hemp seeds to, it's now warmed and come together, and I'll show you a picture of that in a second. I'm going to put it in there and combine that. Hemp seeds are really wonderful. It's a really great, again, it's kind of nutty, and it has a lot of protein. It's a wonderful plant-based protein. So that you could literally add to everything. You can add it to smoothies and overnight oats and cereals and yogurt and all kinds of stuff. So and just another little
build right in and hide in. Not that I advocate for hiding foods into foods with anybody, but sometimes you just need to add a little bit of booster, or, you know, just get a little bit in there for them, for anybody, adults, kids, everybody. And that's a great way to do it. Because it's something that can blend almost anything sweet or savory, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. I'm realizing that I didn't get it out, so I'll
didn't get what out?
Spinach. I didn't get my spinach out.
This is, I love the smell of this.
It does. It smells wonderful.
I am very excited to try this.
I totally bought baby spinach, so it's in a package. And as I walked away, I realized you probably didn't get the whole effect, because this is quarantine life, man. Look at, I got socks and sandals on. This is quality stuff right here. So you're kidding.
I love you so much.
I'm still in my yoga pants.
That's absolutely perfect.
No. Yeah, no, you don't only see the top of me, because I had to go to the fridge, so now you see everything.
Now you see everything. One of those famous Zoom things, right? Make sure the top and the bottom and everything is covered, because you just never know.
Yeah, so next one, I'll make sure to be ready top to bottom. I'm going to see if I can switch the camera. Oh, that was a good view. All right, switch the camera.
I still wear my high heels in the house, even during quarantine.
That's okay. This is what mine looks like.
Yummy. Oh, it looks delicious. So mine has a little bit more sauce to it, but it's certainly being absorbed up. And if you don't like jackfruit, and it might not be, I found it fairly easy at my grocery store. You can do this with chickpeas, you can do with tofu, you can do it if you don't want it vegan. You can do your pork, you can do chicken like you're doing. You can do beef, you can add all those things in, it doesn't matter. So definitely, play with it a little bit. But I'm not sure if I was gonna enjoy the jackfruit or not. I think I'm really going to, but I had chickpeas on the side ready to go.
Another variation of this, we're going to use tortilla shells. So we're going to make it like a soft taco. If you didn't have soft tacos, which by the way, you could use whatever. It could be the chickpea wraps. It could be high protein, low carb wraps. It could be any corn wraps, whatever tortilla shells that you prefer. If you don't have tortilla shells, what you could do is put them on a bed of like corn chips and make it part of like